Here are 5 things I will never do on Disney Cruise Line again. Hi, I'm Shannon from WDW and I spend a lot of time at Disney World, but I also go on a lot of Disney cruises. And over the years, I have tried lots of things and figured out that there are some things that just don't work for me. These are all things that other people seem to like. So your mileage may vary on all of these, but I just wanted to share the things that I have tried and will not be doing again. And maybe you can relate. Number one is late dining. So, if you're not familiar, Disney cruises have two different dining sessions. One is the main dining, which is earlier, it's usually closer to like 6 o'clock. And then there is a later one that is closer to 8 o'clock. And I have occasionally done late dining and found it does not work for me for multiple reasons. One of them is that I just cannot figure out the flow of going to a show first, then dinner, getting out of dinner pretty late, and then going out. Like it just doesn't feel like it's the right order for me. That's the main reason for me is that I just don't want to eat that late. I think the service can be quite slow because they're not in a hurry to sort of turn the tables over. During our Alaskan cruise, we purposely chose late dining because there were so many excursions during the Alaskan cruise, and we were worried that they wouldn't be back in time for the earlier dining. But that meant that we got out at almost 10 p.m. sometimes, and that was just really late. So you really just kind of end your night at dinner. And I much prefer to go to earlier dining and then from there go to a show, go to some of the entertainment on board, kind of just plan out the evening and stay out as late as you want from there. The one of the arguments, especially because we are an adults only travel group, I never travel with kids, is one of the arguments is usually that late dining has fewer kids, which is sometimes true. But what we have found is that the kids that are at late dining are often so tired that they can be quite fussy. So earlier dining works for multiple reasons for us, but some people like late dining. I'm not going to choose that for my future trips, but maybe you're into that. Number two, the Rainforest Room Pass. So the spa has a rainforest room on every ship. The amenities of the rainforest room vary. Some of them have better views, some of them have different amenities. And I thought on multiple cruises, I thought, well, that sounds fun. I'll just get the pass for the whole cruise and we can kind of pop in and out and enjoy it. And I just found myself not doing it for multiple reasons. One is it's so busy a lot of times, especially the loungers, which would be my number one thing that I would want to do. It is unfortunately the number one thing that other people like too. And going in there and having people camping out on the loungers when aren't that many of them is frustrating because I don't really know what to do outside of that for me. There's like all these different showers and they have different settings and they're colorful and it looks fun, but I don't know what to do with all that. I do enjoy going to the spa and getting massages and things like that, but the rainforest room, I don't get it. So if you've never done it before, I might suggest at least trying it out before you commit to the whole pass like I've done multiple times. I won't do it again though. Number three, electronic bingo. Now, bingo is very, very popular on the Disney cruises, but I don't quite get it. The electronic bingo in particular, it costs money and it's not cheap. And then when you get the electronic bingo, it's like a tablet. It plays for you. And I don't understand the fun of just watching a screen in front of you to play for you. Like I want to do something more. I'm in a game night group where I live and love to play games, but not when I can't be involved. So when the game just sort of fills in the spots for you, I don't quite get it. Another part of bingo that I found not so fun is that it is a very popular event that a lot of people go to. And it feels like it's a subculture all on its own, and that I wasn't given the script. So there's all these like call and response things when bingo is being played, kind of like a piano bar where people just know certain phrases, and they go back and forth. And so I just found myself being like, I don't know what everyone is saying here. And clearly I didn't get the memo. So it's not sort of interactive enough for me, the actual game. And then there's a lot going on, but it's clearly very popular and other people love it. And I have a friend that won bingo one time, so much money that they got to pay for their next cruise. So obviously it can pay off. I just didn't find it super fun. Number four is fish extenders. So if you're not familiar, fish extenders are gifts that can be left at your cabin stateroom door. The reason they're called fish extenders is that there are fish hooks on the outside of each stateroom, and people will bring pouches to hang from those hooks. And then you sign up for a fish extender gift exchange, basically, where you go and put things in other people's fish extender pouches, and then other people put it in yours. Now, in theory, this sounds exactly right up my alley because I am huge on stocking. Like, I just love little thoughtful gifts that are surprises and advent calendars, things like that. So I was really excited to participate in fish extenders. However, I found that it adds a lot of work to your packing because you have to figure out what you're going to get. And I can never do anything simply. So, of course, I customized something specific for the fish extenders I was doing. And then you have to get them there. And then during your cruise, you have to make time to go and hand them out. And that's a whole commitment in itself. And then when you go home, let's be honest, you end up with a lot of trinket that you may not want to keep. So I just found that I was spending a lot of time and money and effort finding room, going around the cruise, and then taking home things that I didn't actually want. And so I just thought, okay, I'm not going to participate in that in the future. And I just think, especially with your first cruise, you might hear about all these things being offered, and then it can get quite overwhelming. So I think if you can cross something off the list to make it simpler and more fun, that's one that I would probably skip out on. The fifth thing is Palo Brunch. Now, it's not that I dislike Palo Brunch. It's that it is a little too good and a little too much food. So we have had Palo Brunch many, many times. It's very convenient to schedule Palo on an at sea day because then you can have that as your brunch and you don't miss any of your rotational dining in the evening. And it is an incredible experience. Great views, great service, incredible food. The issue that I have with it is that it is way too much food. And so you might say, well, why not just order a little bit? We have many times just order a little bit. And every time there is so much pressure from the staff to order more. Don't you want this? Don't you want this? Don't you want this? And the thing is, it's all so good. And it all gets left on the table. Just a couple bites here and there. And then the guilt. I don't like the pressure. I don't like the guilt. I don't like the amount of food. I am almost platinum on after my next cruise, I'll be platinum on Disney Cruise Line. And when you're platinum, you get a free Palo dinner on your future cruises for you and anybody in your stateroom. And I'm really happy about that because Palo dinner is much more my speed. Now you do have to trade one of your, rotational dining dinners when you do dinner, obviously, but it's kind of a nice thing, especially on longer cruises, because you end up going to all of the dining rooms multiple times. So if you have to skip out on it once, you're not missing a dining room completely. And at the dinner, you have a choice. You can really order things a la carte. You can do the fixed price menu. And because I travel with group, I also really like reserving the private room or requesting the private room so that we can all be together in the room. And it's just a much more manageable amount of food. And I'm a big wine pairing person. So I get the wine pairing with my food. And that just feels like a better thing for me. When we go on cruises, a lot of times I will schedule this on pirate night because I don't always like the pirate night menu. And all of the dining rooms have the same menu on that night. So it feels like a good night to do it, but a lot of people end up doing that. So it's kind of competitive, but I much prefer Palo dinner to Palo brunch for a couple of reasons. But the main one is that it is just too much food. So that's my list of 5 things that I think a lot of people will like, but I don't. I'm curious, what are your hot takes? What are your things that you don't like that other people seem to? Would love to hear about those in the comments. Thanks for watching.